a really good crowd here today. Hi, my name is Carolyn Bindle, and I'm your host for the next 2 minutes at Business Over Coffee International Special Share event. And we are focusing on nonprofits today. And today our guest at this point is Pastor Larry Hunter of Around the World Ministries and Sober House, and that's what we're really going to talk about today. And you can keep up with our conversation, and you can ask questions for Pastor Hunter, or anything that you want to say with our conversation. So join us at BO Coffee on Twitter, and sign up also for your complimentary profile at www.businessovercoffee.com, and make sure you get that done too. We need to get you in there and get you so that you can benefit from all of the things that are going on here at Business Over Coffee. We also have a sponsor today. We have Rico Johnson, Better Life, Better Coffee, at that website, betterlifebettercoffee.com. And here is your cup of coffee on us, so we want to thank you for that. And I hear rumor that they have really good hot chocolate, but I've not been able to taste it yet. But that's okay. It will happen. It's an ongoing thing between me and Rico. One of these days he'll actually get it here. I'll give him credit. He did have it here, and I wasn't here. Okay. And everybody that was here drinking it made sure that I knew that. So we want to thank Rico for providing this wonderful coffee and hot chocolate for us to have. But let's focus now on Sober House. And it is a homeless mission, and the website is soberhousehomelessmission.com.
Yes, ma'am.
It's .com, not .org. .com, okay. So you have your own church, the Around the World Ministries, and then you decided to do this on the side. And boy, the people that we're interviewing today make me tired. It's like, okay, I don't have anything else to do. Let's throw another big, huge, life-changing thing in the midst of everything. But tell us a little bit about Sober House and what it is and why we need to. And I loved your analogy, because I had asked you, where did Sober House come from, and if it's for people, for alcoholics, but your extended analogy was so much better. Y'all have to listen to this. Go ahead with the sober.
Well, actually, with the word sober, God had spoke to me and said, basically, when the word sober basically means something you don't do anymore. A lot of times people think sober means, you don't drink anymore. Sober could mean I don't lie anymore as well. So sober means you have a clear mind to recognize that what I used to do is not right. So I'm sober now, which means I'm not going to do it anymore. Rather it's drinking or doing drugs or stealing, you're sober now. You can recognize that that's what's been keeping you down in life, and you're sober, you're clear-minded, so you don't do those things anymore.
Now, do you have counselors on hand, or do you partner with counselors?
We actually partner with counselors.
Okay, so those types of things can happen. So exactly what is Sober House, and where is it located? It's obviously here in Memphis.
Yes,
but
yes. Sober House is at 3102 St. Charles Drive, located in Memphis, Tennessee. It's a new area that we're in now. It was a nice, beautiful home that was donated to us about maybe 8 months ago, and
wow!
We just actually we're excited. We're gonna have our grand opening. We're looking in about 2 to 3 weeks, and we're just looking to do something great for that area.
Okay, now where in Memphis is St. Charles?
St. Charles is in Fraser.
In Fraser. Okay.
Fraser,
okay, I'm familiar with Fraser.
Fraser Boulevard.
Okay, and who are the people that come to you to stay at Sober House, or how many can you accommodate at a time?
Well, right now we can accommodate maybe about, I would say, 6 to 8 people. We also have other homes that we're going to be working on as well, as God touched people's hearts to send in donation. We're going to work on those homes as well. We have so many things right now that we have in the works right now. Even we have a home that we're fixing up. We're going to be fixing up hopefully in the next month, that we're going to try to present it to a family around Christmas time. Down through the years, I have gave away about 3 homes so far to families that are in need.
Now, what are their requirements to be able to qualify to receive a free home?
Actually, it's not necessarily free. We have conditions on that as well.
Okay.
We allow them to live in the house for about 2 years, and if they can keep up the property and
Utility bills.
utility bills, show themselves to be responsible,
Uh-huh.
then we would donate the home to them. Because many times, if you donate a home to them, just giving it to them and they didn't earn it, they don't appreciate the value.
There's nothing. Okay. Now, I remember a while back, the Commercial Field had an article on all of these homes that the people would be given, and then the predatory lenders would come in and say, "Oh, you own this home, we can give you money for it,"
Yes.
and then they end up losing it in just a few months. So with that 2-year thing that you've got on it,
Absolutely.
that can curb that quite a bit.
Absolutely.
And they can learn through that 2-year time span, this is not, I don't need to go out and do this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That I like.
Absolutely.
Because
Thank
that article just literally broke my heart and made me cry.
Thank you.
So I really like the 2-year probation time of, here's this, and there's another one in town that you can live there for a year, but you have to leave.
Wow.
In a year, you have to
Yeah.
get, we're going to give you everything to take care of yourself, but in a year, you've got to have yourself together enough you can go get your own home.
Mhm.
So you've taken it that extra step. I
Absolutely.
applaud you. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's
Thank
very
you.
nice. That's very good.
Absolutely.
Now-
One home I gave away 3 years ago, I do a follow-up. The house belongs to them now, and they're still doing very well. Very well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Now, what drastic changes have to come into their lives to be able to do this? I mean, like you said, it's the sober house. You've got to make changes, and it sounds like it's working. So you've made them have literally lifestyle changes.
Absolutely.
What are some of those things that you've changed about? Well, not you haven't changed, that the people have, that you've helped people change in their lives.
Well, if you, first of all, once they prove that they're responsible,
Uh-huh. And you help them get to that point.
Well,
Don't-
absolutely.
give yourself credit there.
Well-
your program has got to be working for them to still be able to hold on to these things.
absolutely. See, most of the time, people just want to, they want someone to give them a chance. A lot of times they have bad credit. I'm pretty sure we all got bad credit and something. And a lot of time they can't get a loan or
Mhm.
they can't go out and borrow money. So what the sober house does is try to give them a second chance at
Mhm.
life. And once you take them through the steps and they go through the program within 2 years and own their own home, I mean, it just brings their confidence up.
Exactly.
Wow,
Exactly.
Families now are hurting. You got so many families that are smiling on the outside, but they're crying on the inside. And when you show them the love of Christ, you'll be surprised at what they does.
Exactly. Now, what is entailed in your program?
Oh,
What's entailed in doing the program? You mentioned that once they go through that program,
Yes.
what is the program?
Actually, once they go through the program, once we allow them to live in the house, as I said before, and they pay the utilities, keep the house up. We don't want to ride by there, and there's 50 people standing in front of the house doing a big party. Once they prove that they're responsible,
Okay.
we encourage them to go through counseling with. We encourage them to go through some type of class or show them how to balance their checkbook. All that plays a major role. And once they go through that program and we donate them home, they're ready. They're ready.
Do you end up having to help with also getting jobs and things like that too,
I have
or do
several
they
places.
usually already have jobs?
I have several places if they don't have a job that would normally give them a job.
Okay.
So it's working out pretty well, but the majority of them already have a job.
Okay, and there's also a conversion that's going on,
Mhm.
a spiritual conversion
Oh, absolutely.
that's going on, and that helps immensely.
Absolutely.
And I mean, there's studies out there that show that spiritual conversions will pull somebody out of dire circumstances before handouts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
I
it sounds like
believe-
that's the philosophy you're going on.
Oh, absolutely. I believe, first of all, we got to take care of the spiritual man first.
Mhm.
Because you can give a person a home, but if they haven't handled the spiritual man, they're hurt. And lots of people, I find that they're hurt, they're wounded. And if you can give them $1 million and they still will be miserable. But if you take care of the hurt and the wounds and put them in a home or give them $1 million, they're going to be happy. If you take care of the hurt, the wounds and don't give them a dime, they're still going to be happy. So the first thing we try to take care of is the hurt. Because like, as I said before, people that went through divorce, people feel like they're the black sheep of the family. When I was driving city buses, I encountered with doctors, lawyers, and you'd be surprised at the people carrying suitcases, and they're just miserable on the inside. Mm-hmm. So first of all, we have to learn how to find out what's going on in the heart. We have to take care of the inside first.
Oh,
and once we
yes.
take care of the inside, everything else is just going to take off from there.
Now, how do people come to you? Who do friends refer them?
By word of mouth.
By word of mouth?
Being on this internet program here.
Okay.
We've been around now since 2007, and we go in some of the neighborhoods that people wouldn't go in. I have given out groceries to gang members. The reason why I did that, it gives me an opportunity to talk to the gang members. I have given out groceries for weapons, and that was a big success. And I'm thinking about giving out book bags to all gang members to throw out a hint that maybe if you get educated, you will come from
you go.
So that's what I'm thinking about doing.
Teaching literacy.
Absolutely,
Get a literacy thing
but
going.
you'd be surprised if we can just change one person that's one of the worst person out there. If we change him, he can go back and change some of the ones that we can't reach. So
That's true.
absolutely.
That's true. And do you suffer any retaliation from any of this? Because I've seen some churches that have suffered retaliation. But are you doing it in such a way that it's not happening?
So far, I haven't had any problem with suffering any retaliation, if I'm understanding you correctly.
Yeah, look, the gangs. You're talking about the gang retaliation.
No.
We've seen some very horrible things happen to kids.
Well,
so I was just going to say, what is it you're doing that's not
All I'm-
getting the retaliation?
All I'm doing is
Because you're doing something right.
I'm not going in their neighborhood condemning them.
Okay.
I don't have to
There we
call
go.
you a
That's-
drunk. You already know you're drunk because
Okay.
you're drunk.
Okay.
I don't have to call you a drug addict because you already know you're a drug addict.
Okay.
I'm looking beyond your fault and I'm seeing something different in you that you can't see.
Okay.
My job is to build you up. If you're in a hole and need help, I'm not gonna holler and say you're in a hole. First thing you're gonna say, I know I'm in a hole. I need you to show me how to get out.
We've
See,
established
people in
that
gangs,
fact.
the ones that are in gangs, they already know they're in a gang. What they need me to do is show them a way out.
Okay.
So that's my job. When I go in the worst neighborhood, I go in there to show them a way out. I don't remind them of what they used to do or what they're doing now. I just show the love of Christ, and I believe love and kindness would draw them. And the reason why the church is not being affected and going in some of the worst neighborhoods, number one, they're afraid, and number two, they too busy condemning. But what they don't realize is God hadn't changed them, they probably would have been some of the worst ones out there. So we got to go back in that neighborhood and just show the love of Christ. Don't tell them to put down the gun. If you show the love of Christ, they'll want to put down the gun.
Yay. There you go. Letting that spirit work.
Absolutely.
Rather than going through the other way. Now, how many families do you have some that just come through, get their lives together, and go on?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And
I run up on all type of families that we have helped down through the years, and some of them is not in need of money or not in need of shelter. You'd be surprised that people just want someone to talk to.
We're a very lonely society. We really are. We're a very lonely society. We don't have the front. This is a crazy thing, but when you think about it, it's so true. Air conditioning destroyed neighborhoods. And you're thinking, what? How did air conditioning destroy neighborhoods? Because everybody's inside.
Absolutely.
They're not out on the front porch,
Absolutely.
fanning themselves and talking to each other.
Absolutely.
And so we are a very lonely society.
Absolutely.
Because we're in our cocoons.
Absolutely.
And we don't go out and do. So I totally and fully believe that you run into people in that situation.
All the time. And I thank God for my upbringing. My mother, as I was growing up, I thought she was crazy. Anytime a lady had 21 children, I thought she was crazy.
Yeah. For those of you who are listening, that wasn't the men that went, oh, it was all the women that went, oh.
When my dad died, there was 15 kids at home. And I didn't see how she was going to make it. And the landlord, I think I was 15 at the time, and the landlord gave her 30 days to get out of the house, find another place.
Mm.
And I couldn't figure out why she would never go look for a place. She would always pray at 12 o'clock. And I'm saying, why she's not packing up? And 3 days before the sheriff came to put us out, she said, son, you might not understand, but God is going to make a way. And I didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 days before the sheriff came to put us out, a guy knocked on the door and said, the Lord told me to give you a 10-bedroom home. So I know what prayer do. I've been there.
Wow.
I've been there.
That's amazing. So you've seen it work, and now then you're giving back.
Absolutely.
That's what we need to have
Absolutely. And
in
the good
today's
thing is,
society.
when I started the Sober House, I started just by faith. People thought I was crazy. When I told them I want to start giving out a car once a month, people said, man, the economy is down. You got to be crazy. Nobody's going to donate you a car. So I said, that's an opportunity for God to prove that he's God when everything is against me.
Mm-hmm.
I did my first press conference, I think about maybe 6 years ago, and I started giving out a car once a month to needy families. So I know what God do. He can touch people's heart in the worst condition times.
And sometimes a car is what somebody needs just to be able to get a job.
Absolutely.
Again, because we're so spread out, there's not that neighborhood job that they can just walk to.
Absolutely.
They have to go someplace.
What we do is we just don't give out a car. We just don't take your word for it. We do our own investigation and find out if what you're saying is really true, because many times people
So you do
you.
hold people accountable.
Oh, absolutely.
And see, that's something too that I think is where other programs will fail, is there's no accountability held.
Oh, absolutely.
And you hold that accountability,
Absolutely.
which goes right into step with the sober.
Absolutely.
You've got to be accountable
Absolutely.
for your actions.
Most important thing people need, the first thing is God, and the second thing is education.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to encourage them to get an education, whether it's a GED or going back to college. Get an education, because that's what's going to take you far in life.
Okay.
You need some knowledge.
What can we, those of us who are here, or those that are listening or watching, what can we do to help Sober House and help you with your ministry?
You can go to soberhousehomelessmission.com. In about 2 to 3 weeks, we want to have our grand opening. We still got a few repairs to do. If you go to soberhouse.com, you can make contributions right there. Just continue to, we also need vehicles. We'd like to even give out more vehicles. Even if it's not running, we have mechanics that'll donate their time with fixing it. It might have a dent in it. We have different auto bodies that normally donate their time with getting out the dent. And we just want to make a difference, not just in Memphis, but we want to eventually go around the world. People need help everywhere. Mm-hmm. And if they go to soberhousehomelessmission.com and make a contribution, it would be a blessing. Also, I want someone to cut the ribbon, and I told someone, they said, well, it don't make sense, but God has proved to me what don't make sense always makes sense to God. One of my favorite boxers is Floyd Mayweather.
Uh-huh.
And I know someone out there might know Floyd Mayweather or Bernard Hopkins. So if you know Floyd Mayweather or Bernard Hopkins, give them my website. Tell them I would love for them to
there you go.
cut the ribbon, or my phone number, area code 901-581-2860. Now don't be surprised if Bernard Hopkins or Mayweather call me.
Next month we'll report back whether or not that happened.
Don't be surprised. We serve a big God. So,
well, you put it out there to the universe.
There you go. There you go.
Absolutely.
Does anybody here have any questions? Charlotte?
Yes, I have two things. I would like to reiterate that the web address is soberhousehomelessmission.com. We want you to go there.
Okay.
And secondly, Pastor mentioned his program. What I was so excited about when I first learned about Sober House, because I'm on the board with them, is that not only does Sober House help people, but the people that are helped by Sober House, one of the requirements is that they give back in some respects. And that in turn help the recipient as well as help the person who is actually doing the giving.
Yes, that I do like, how you have to give back, you have to be invested, and I love your accountability factor, because that's one of the things that's missing in
Yes.
society today too, is that accountability. You've got to be held accountable
Absolutely.
for your actions,
Absolutely.
and that's amazing.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any questions for Pastor Hunter? Okay, we are ready to sign off, and we've got one more thing to do, but thank you so much
Thank you.
for coming.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that we were able to have you here today. And remember,